Hello everyone, and welcome to this beginner's yoga flow. For this class today, you will need 2 blocks, as you could see at the top of my mat. If you don't have blocks, yoga blocks, then feel free to use books, textbooks, anything that might replicate and be close to the same size as a block that you can use as kind of a stiletto for your hands during this practice. Beginning in child's pose, balasana, bringing your knees out wide, your big toes touch, hips to heels, reaching the arms out in front of you as you take a big deep breath in through the nose, filling the body up, and exhale, sinking deeper into the pose. Take a moment. Allow yourself to just be here and present. And set an intention for this practice. On your next inhale, slowly bring your body up to a tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we'll begin with some wrist push-ups. As you inhale, press into your fingertips as you lift the palms up off the ground. And as you exhale, just lower that palm back down. We're going to do this about 10 times, making sure to keep the shoulders on top of your wrists so that there's a little weight there. And then a slight pause at the top before you let the palm come back down to the earth. Holding for the last one here, and then let the hands come down. Curl the toes and sit the hips back onto the heels, sitting up nice and tall, and just roll out your wrists there. Your wrists and forearms should feel nice and activated. And now we're going to clench our fists and release. Clench, release, clench, release, and moving a little bit faster. And a little bit faster. And going as fast as you can, clenching and releasing. And release, shake it out. Forearms should feel nice and activated now. We're just going to flip the hands so the fingertips are reaching towards your knees, palms down, and then circle yourself. Nice big circles going in one direction. And then switch direction. Coming back to center. We're going to now flip so the palms are facing up, fingertips pointing backwards. And same thing, 3 circles in one direction. And then going the opposite way. And shake it out. Coming back to all fours. Your next inhale, reach your right leg back, pointing through the toes. As you exhale, tap the foot down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. Lift, hold it here. We're going to bend the knee and tap the right elbow and extend the leg back. For 2, reach it back. 3, 4, and 5, reaching that leg back. Go ahead and set the knee down, sway the hips from side to side. Notice the difference in how your right hip feels versus your left. And then we reach the left leg back, pointing the toes. Exhale, tap the foot down. Inhale, lift. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. Going to bend the knee, tap the left elbow for 1. Engaging the core for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Set the knee down. Sway the hips again. And now find a high plank, curling the toes, lifting the hips, a straight line from your shoulders to your heels. And from here, on your next exhale, lift the hips up for downward facing dog. Start to pedal out the knees. Nice and strong through the arms, pressing through the fingertips. Finding some stillness here as you ground through the heels. On your next inhale, reach the right leg up high, pointing the 5 toes straight down to the earth, keeping the hips square. Lift it up as high as you can get it. And as you exhale, lower that foot back down to the earth. On your next inhale, bring the left leg up high. Breathing here. And lower the foot back down to the earth. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Grab opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. This is one of my favorite poses because you can really just let the pose work for you. Maybe find a gentle sway from side to side, but really just breathe into this opening of the entire back body. Release the elbows. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands to shins or knees. Exhale, folding back down, forehead to shins. Inhale, halfway lift again, shoulders drop back and down your spine. Exhale, melt the forehead down. Last one, as you inhale, halfway lift, tailbone reaches back. And exhale, hinging at the hips, fold. Inhale, set the hands out in front of you. And then slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. Neck is the last thing to come up. Tadasana, mountain pose. Find your center for a moment. Connect back with your breath. Remind yourself of your intention. And on your next inhale, reach the arms above your head. Palms touch, look up to your thumbs. And as you exhale, fold over your legs, once again hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right leg back into a lunge. As you exhale, step the left foot back into a high plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. As you exhale, drop the knees and drop the chest right between your thumbs. Chest and chin land on the floor. Inhale, slide your chest forward and lift the chest up for baby cobra. Breathing here. Exhale, chin lowers back down. And inhale, press yourself back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, look up to your hands and walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms touch overhead. And exhale, we fold right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the left foot back first this time. And as you exhale, the right foot follows. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, drop the knees. Drop the chest and chin. Inhale, slide the chest forward, cobra, engaging through the lower back. Exhale, lower the chin back down. Inhale, pressing back into downward facing dog. And exhale, settle in. Look up to your hands and slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, palms touch overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samaskiti. Arms by your side. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up to your hands. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right and the left foot back into high plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. This time as you exhale, drop the knees and lower down halfway push-up, hovering the chest above the floor. Inhale for that cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up high. Exhale, step the foot between your hands. If the foot doesn't get all the way there, that's okay. You can always take that foot with your hand and drag it to the top of your mat. You're going to hop the back foot forward to find a shorter stance, to ground the back heel and reach the arms up. Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana A. Hips sink low, right hip reaches back. Knit the ribcage in. And on your next exhale, lower the hands back down and step back into high plank. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, step this foot between your hands. Ground the back heel. Inhale, reach the arms up. Knitting the ribcage in once you arrive. Grounding through the front heel. Exhale, lower the hands back down. Step back into high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, round forward into a high plank again. Exhale, set the knees down, lower down halfway push up. Inhale for cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly walk the feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Making sure the feet are together. Take the hips down low, reach the arms up high for Utkatasana chair pose. One breath here. And stand tall at the top of your mat, drawing the hands down to your heart. Inhale, take the arms out, palms touch over your head, look to the thumbs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the feet back into high plank. Exhale, drop the knees. Lower down halfway push up. Inhale for cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up high. And exhale, take the foot to the outside of your right hand. Take your blocks to the inside of your right foot as you set the back knee down to the ground. If you feel you don't need the blocks and you like to keep the hands on the floor, feel free. Otherwise, take this as a little booster to give your hips a break. And just breathe into the stretch, the hips, the groin, inner thighs. And then we reach the right hand up to the ceiling, finding a slight twist. And as you exhale, roll onto the outer edge of your right foot as you press your hand into your right knee. Returning back to center. Turn the blocks back to the outer corners of your mat. Step back into high plank and then into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, foot to the outside of your left hand. Set the back knee down as you bring the blocks back to the inside of that left foot. Reaching the left hand up to the ceiling, twist. And then take the hand to the inside of your left knee to press that leg out and open, getting a deeper stretch to that left hip. Returning back to center. Return the blocks to the outside of your mat and step back into high plank and downward facing dog. Inhale, rounding forward into high plank. Exhale, set the knees down, lower down halfway push-up. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale as we look up to our hands and walk the feet up to meet them. Step the feet to the outer corners of your mat and turn the toes outward. On your next exhale, drop the hips as low as they can go. And notice that I did grab my blocks just to bring the ground closer to me. Inhale, we lift back up as you turn the toes inward. Exhale, the hips go as low as they can go as you turn the toes out. And then notice I rotate on my heels and turn the toes in as I extend through the knees. And note that your hips do not have to go nearly as low as mine are going. Even if they just go down as low as in line with the knees, that is perfectly fine. We're now going to hold it here at the lowest point that you can get them. Feel free to keep your hands on the blocks, or if you like to challenge yourself, take your hands together at heart center as I'm doing here. And on your next exhale, we're going to return back to a standing position, extending through the knees and toe heel the feet in to hips width apart. Take your peace fingers around your big toes. And as you inhale, find length to your spine, and as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale again, maybe you can find a little bit more length. And exhale, fold. Continue to breathe here, using your arm strength to pull yourself forward and down, while at the same time pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Release. Inhale. Slowly roll yourself all the way back up to standing. And step back to the center of your mat for balancing. Find a nice comfortable standing position, focusing your eyes on one point in the room. Before you bring your knee up, taking your knee with your right hand, bring it out to the side, doing your best to keep your hips square. Nice hip opening for that right inner thigh. And now bringing the leg back to center. Take the knee with your left hand as your right hand goes to your hip and look past your right shoulder. Twist. Returning back to center, reach the arms up, extend and kick that heel forward, and then set the foot down. Preparing for the other side, hands back to your hips. Bring your left knee up. We're going to grab that knee with your left hand, bringing it out to the side. The leg comes back to center. Grab it with the other hand as your left hand returns back to your hip. Look past your left shoulder for a twist. Inhale, return back to center. Reach the arms up as you kick that heel forward and set the foot down to the ground. Release. Now for one more pose, tree pose. Hands to hips. We're going to bring your right foot either to your ankle, pick the foot up off the ground to bring it to your calf, or your inner thigh, right above the knee. Press the foot into your leg and stand strong through your left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up, and as you exhale, grow your branches. Return the hands down and set the foot down to the ground. Exploring the same stillness on the opposite side, take your left foot to the same spot that the right foot was, standing strong through that right leg. Next inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, separate the palms, grow your branches. Slowly bring your hands back down. The foot comes back down to the earth. Walk back to the top of your mat. For chair pose, hips low, arms high. The weight is in the heels of the feet, and the hips are rooting backwards. Bring your hands behind you and see if you can catch yourself to sit down on the ground and meet me in Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Inhale, sit up nice and tall through the spine. And as you exhale, see if you can allow yourself to melt the heart forward towards the feet. Slowly come back up. Bring your knees together and extend your legs out in front of you for Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, reach for your ankles. If you'd like to go a little bit further, you can take peace fingers around your big toes again. Or for maximum depth, you can grab the outer edges of your feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, let your forehead fall down to your knees or shins, doing your best to bend at the hips rather than rounding in the back too much. Slowly releasing, bringing ourselves all the way up nice and slowly, and bringing the soles of your feet to the ground and lifting the hips up for reverse tabletop. Just to counter off that forward folding with a flexion. Slowly sit the hips back down and bring your left ankle on top of your right knee. or seated pigeon. And switch. Create the figure 4 with your right leg now, right ankle on top of left knee. And release. Take your legs out as wide as they'd like to go today for a straddle. Starting off with some hip circles here to massage the hip bone, getting the joint nice and lubricated for this stretch. Then move the circles the opposite direction. Slowly bring our way back to center. Left forearm to the inside of your left leg as the right arm reaches over the ear line, getting a nice stretch to the right side body. Inhale back to center. Set the right forearm to the inside of that leg and the left arm reaches over the ear line. Inhale back to center. Sit up nice and tall in the center and slowly bring the hands out in front of you. This might be enough. If you'd like to go further, feel free to start to slowly walk the hands out, keeping the toes pointed straight up to the ceiling and doing your best to not round the spine too much, keeping as much length as possible and finding softness through your exhales. Slowly walk your way back up. Take your time. And slowly bring the legs back together. Shake them out. Come to lie down on your back and bring your knees into your chest. Pick the hips up and bring them over to the right so that the knees can fall over to the left. Look to your right hand. And now, bringing the knees back to center, swing the hips over to the left side of your mat as the knees fall to the right. Look to your left hand. Slowly bring the knees back to center and extend your right leg. Slowly setting the left foot down to the earth if that's available. If not, just keep the left knee hugged in towards your chest as well. But if you do feel like you like to challenge yourself and you're feeling open, continue to extend the left leg long on your mat. Breathing into the hamstring and the muscles on the back of your right leg. And then slowly bringing that left knee back in towards your chest. Bend the right knee and switch, extending the left leg. And coming to the same place you were on the opposite side, as far as straightening your right leg and extending perhaps completely. Slowly bring the right knee back in. Hug both knees into your chest. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch for Supta Baddha Konasana. Your left hand rests on your heart and your right hand on your navel. Just notice how the body feels. Notice your breath. Notice this present moment. And you're more than welcome to stay here for your Shavasana if you like the hip opening, or you can extend the legs out long into Shavasana. Letting the body melt into the mat with each exhale. Relax here for a moment. Wiggling the fingers and toes. Bring awareness back to your physical body. Find any other small movements to bring yourself back into this space, and then when you're ready, roll over onto one side in the fetal position and take your time pressing yourself all the way up to a comfortable seated position. Your hands arrive at your heart when you get here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. If you have any questions about any poses that we did today, feel free to leave them in the comments. And until next time, namaste.